Globally, sport is regarded as a fundamental right and a powerful tool to strengthen social ties and promote sustainable development and peace. The International Day of Sport for Development and Peace, celebrated annually on April 6, presents an opportunity to recognize the positive role sport plays. The president of the Association of National Olympic Committees of Africa, Mustafa Baref, notes that the day is to exalt the role of sport as a factor of emancipation and unity among people and promote community development in Africa. This year's theme, securing a sustainable and peaceful future for all, the contribution of sport. Joining me to discuss the importance of this day's observance, among other things, is Deji Omotoyinbo, a sport content consultant. Hello, Deji. Thanks for joining us.
Good evening. Thank you for having me.
Okay, I would like us to look into this year's theme that says securing a sustainable and peaceful future for all, the contribution of sport. What does this mean to you?
Well, sport is universal. Sport is all engaging. Sport has various levels of participation, from the professionals to the keep fit, from the gyms to the streets, to the little kids. So sport has varying level of participation, and that's why it's important as a platform to passing on messages. We're talking about sustainability, and sport plays a massive, massive role in ensuring that we live in a sustainable world. Even sports events are talking about sustainability, sports equipment. Yeah, you're trying to make sure they use biodegradable materials and all of that. So sports is playing its role, because sports is one thing that attracts a lot of attention. Sports events are watched by billions and billions of people. So when you're trying to pass messages like this, you really can't ignore the place of sport.
Okay, Ivory Coast international Didier Drogba, a football star, he played a pivotal role in promoting peace in Côte d'Ivoire. We do remember that. Now, how can sport fans get a better orientation to shun hooliganism of sporting arenas on a day like this?
Well, they've got to know that sport is about fair play. Sport is about teaching the proper life skills, discipline, dedication, respect for the opponent, fairness. And that's what sport teaches, all those ideals that make you to respect the other man. So what did Yoruba did in Côte d'Ivoire? Similar to what Nelson Mandela also did after apartheid in South Africa, when he came out of prison. Apartheid had broken down. The country was highly divided. But South Africa hosted the Rugby World Cup and then the African Nations Cup shortly after. And Nelson Mandela was able to use those two events to effectively unite a very, very divided country. So that's the power of sport, and that's what sports can do, even in a fractious situation like we had. And even during the Second World War, there was a Christmas truce that was declared, and British and German soldiers played football on a pitch that was earlier in the day a battlefield. So you understand the power of sport in promoting peace in even difficult situations.
Okay, let's talk grassroots sport right now. Africa, in time past, were a cynosure of eyes. What can be done to ensure that the men's discovery of talent isn't eroded in Africa?
Well, we have to go back to the basics. I think particularly in Nigeria, we have to go back to the schools. Sports and education, in our time, used to be hand in hand. These days, you have schools who don't have a sports program. That shouldn't be acceptable. Sports and education should go hand in hand. You go back to the schools, because that's the basic level of talent. That's where kids develop their skills, develop their interest into various sports. And we've just got to go back to the situation where you allow every kid, every child access to basic sporting facilities, mostly through the schools and even in their local communities. And that encourages them to take part in a particular sport, and who knows the level of talent they might have, and who knows how far they will go. So we have to go back to the schools, or at least to the grassroots, to the base level, and encourage active participation in sport by young people.
Okay, Deji, we know that sport doesn't have to do with football alone. We've got athletics and others. But looking at athletics, how will you rate the different countries in terms of athlete development, infrastructure, and the kind of competitions they provide on the continent?
Well, athletics is usually a long-term project. If you look at the Jamaicans, they have a long-term project. But it's happening now, for instance, in Nigeria, in the last 2-3 weeks, Nigeria's most successful Olympian, NFA Kudomo, who's won a gold and a bronze for Nigeria in the 4x400 at the Olympics, held what they call an International Schools Athletics Championships in Lagos. Over 60 schools from across the country. A school came in from Ghana, and you would see kids of 6, 7, 8 to 10, under 12, under 15, under 17 participating, and it was a fantastic tournament, and it has thrown up quite a lot of talent. So those are the things we need to do across all sports. Government also needs to create an enabling environment whereby every child, like you said, not only football, any child that is talented in any sport has the basic amenities to be able to hold their skills and the basic environment to be able to develop and succeed at whatever level in the sport they choose. So athletics is getting a lot of encouragement in Nigeria. Nigeria did well at the World Under-20 Championships in Kenya last year, coming second overall. So athletics is getting a big boost in the country.
Okay. This is all we can take home concerning this day. Thank you so much, Deji, for sharing your thoughts on the celebration of sport development.
My pleasure.